What's up, y'all? We're back with another episode. Long overdue. Your boy Ethan. It's your boy Imran.
Good.
Dynamic duo. Plus Zaim. Training trio. Not training trio. It's just the trio. But today we're gonna be talking about NBA round two. We're gonna talk about the ass teams, the good teams. Oh, there's only one ass team.
We're gonna cover it all, right? We're gonna
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna do
This will
everything.
be a quick one today because
Yeah.
got
There's not a
some.
lot going on in sports right now, especially with the basketball and soccer and whatnot. We'll get to Champions League like once it's around that time. We'll cover Premier League once that's done. Nice. We don't talk about baseball, but there's some stuff going on there, so you never know one day. But yeah, let's just get straight into it. Which series do you want to talk about first? You just want to go through the one
Talk
that's
about Boston and Cavs first,
all
man.
right.
Not much
So
to say.
Well, so that one was it was 5 games, right? 4-1 Boston. After the Cavs won their game, it looked like for like a second that maybe like
Maybe it was a
what they said
series.
about the sweep was like completely wrong. It looked bad. And then Donovan Mitchell got hurt, and I was like, all right, yeah, no, they're done. They're finished.
But did he really get hurt, or did he just not want to play? Because
I think he
who
was just being overused. Like the guy was the only one truly producing. Mobley was pretty good too, but he was the only one that was truly producing.
Mobley, unacceptable for Mobley. You're getting clamped by a 38-year-old retirement bald Al Horford.
Anyway, the
Unacceptable.
final score in that last game, game five, was 113-98 for Boston. Um, the standout was probably Mobley and Marcus Morris.
Oh, Mobley at 33. Yeah,
Mobley at 33, Marcus Morris at 25.
Marcus
Yeah,
Morris hasn't had 25 points in 10 years, man.
yeah, it's crazy. The fact that they're even playing him is crazy. But
That's how
if you
you
look,
know you're bad when you're playing
yeah,
a senior citizen, or they have like three on or two on their team. When you play
so
Tristan Thompson, Georges Niang, Marcus Morris Sr., and Sam Morril, and you have Dean Wade starting.
yeah.
I say, oh my,
And
okay.
how did Garland not do more with the 45?
Garland,
At
this guy's
44 minutes he
he's
played.
shit. He played like 20 hours of basketball and he played 12 points. Oh no, that wasn't even 12 points. 11. Max Strus had more points than you. You dropped 11 and 9. You
Yeah.
shot 4 for 17 or 4 for 18. You played 44 minutes and that's all you could do. You're the main ball handler. Last time when Spada was out, I think he had like 30 something.
Mhm.
But it's an elimination game. You dropped 12 points. Oh, sorry,
That's
11.
that's the thing, right? We talked about it last time, like, or not. We didn't really talk about that much last time, but I guess we can go into it a
Yeah, I
little
remember we talked
now,
about
which
how
is
like the ball moves
like
around more.
when your backs are against the wall, you're it's really gonna show the true colors of the kind of player you are. Uh, Mobley definitely took the load of it. Like he showed that he can be
Pause, bro.
trusted.
Oh my God. Pause.
Relax, relax, bro. Clean your mind. We're talking basketball here. Um, dude, you threw me off now. Okay, so Mobley, he just showed that he can do it on any given night. And this year he had a good year. Like it was a good year overall for him.
Little injuries. Like I
Yeah,
expect
but
more.
he wasn't disappointing, I don't think. I think he
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
year that he can be happy with, and the Cavs can be happy with him. Uh, Garland though definitely took a step back this year. Like it's not great. Obviously, once the playoffs are done, we'll probably do like a kind of full season analysis on like some top players and maybe some predictions for free agency. So we won't go too much into it now, but Marcus Morris, think about it, Marcus Morris dropping 25 is sad because you relied on him for the scoring. Like he had
Mhm.
that many opportunities to shoot the ball. And to be honest with you, I know Strus dropped more than Garland. He should have had way more than 12 points. Like
Yeah, you played
played
45 minutes.
45 minutes. He should have definitely done better than that. I don't know really what else to say. Like, I mean, when you look at this lineup, it's not a good lineup. Like when you
No,
really
it's
look at it,
ass.
Dean Wade, Isaac Okoro only played 12 minutes. Why? Do you know? Is he
Because
hurt?
he's shit. This guy
Okay,
was
so
the
there you
fourth
go.
or fifth pick, like from I believe 2018, 2019.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
he
the
was a
year.
top end player.
I don't know. He hasn't produced. He can't defend. He can't shoot. He gets no matter like the only reason why he played 12 minutes because he's getting bullied. You got
Yeah.
Tatum. When Tatum sees him, they're licking their lips. They see that it's easy food for them. It's barbecue chicken. You saw Jalen Brown toast him. Tatum torched him. Even Derek White and Drew Holiday. This guy cannot do anything. He's
Yeah.
5 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds in 12 minutes. There's a reason why he only got 12 minutes because this guy was getting exposed.
Yeah.
He's been such a disappointment. I think he's a bust.
Yeah. Unfortunately for the Cavs, there's not really much to say. Like, it really sucks too when everyone's like, "Oh, the Cavs should draft Bronny so when LeBron comes back." It's like,
I mean, I think LeBron fixed their problems. They don't have a wing.
yeah, but LeBron's not going back to Cleveland. Like, he's
You
not
never
going to
know.
this dump. Like, it's not happening.
No, if Mitchell stays, he'll stay.
He's not. Mitchell's not staying.
Did you
Mitchell's
see
going.
the news? They're deciding whether or not to keep Garland or Mitchell because I think Garland's agent was like, "Yeah, we're gonna monitor the situation. We'll see what happens with Mitchell." Because I think
I
Mitchell,
don't think Garland really has much like leeway with
this
him.
guy is
I'll take
this guy
him.
has no right to talk.
But that's
You
what I
have
mean. He has no
think
leeway.
here.
It's funny. His agent's saying monitor the situation. Basically, what's going to happen is because obviously Garland and him kind of try to play the same role. So it means Garland gets the ball less because Mitchell's just way more talented than he is.
Oh, for sure, for sure. He's
Mitchell
more
leaves.
explosive.
If Mitchell
Yeah,
leaves, Garland basically it's going to be do what he doesn't do. So if he
yeah,
leaves, you stay. He stays, you leave.
yeah.
Now I don't know how Garland's going to do that. I don't know how he's going to facilitate a trade because I can't
He's
really
not a,
think that many
he's
teams
not a
that want.
contract right now. He's making like $40 million.
Like, the only team that's going to take him is going to be a bottom feeder, right? Like Detroit will take him.
I
Congratulations.
don't even know if Detroit will take him because they have Cade. I think the Wizards,
They'll
Wizards would
take him.
love him.
Detroit will take anybody these days, especially after
Yeah,
losing
it's
the draft.
Detroit.
Oh, okay. Actually, no. Quickly, draft lottery. I have a bone to pick with this. The past 5 years, the worst team has not won the lottery. How
I
is
mean,
that
I think it's
possible?
good. It's just
No, it's
unlucky.
not good though. It's not good because
It is good because it avoids tanking.
it doesn't matter. The Pistons need it, bro.
Well, I
They
don't
were
care. Maybe
historically
stop
bad
being
this year.
such a sorry
They
franchise.
they need it though. The whole entire point of the draft is for your team to
It's
get better,
their
and
fault.
the worst teams should improve more.
No,
That's the point. They need this guy more than anybody else. They need it more than anybody else, and instead they're picking
no,
five.
they don't need Sar.
Yes, they do.
They have Jalen Duren.
Oh wow, because he was such a difference maker this year.
Nah, he's nice.
Dude, they
He's
can have
nice.
two of them then. Put one of them to power forward.
Nah, but
They
they can't space
can.
the floor. They
They
can't
can.
shoot.
Duran's not 7'1". He's
He
not.
is. He's like 6'10", 6. He averages a double double the whole year. Watch. Zayn's
He's
gonna give you shit
7'1".
for that. Zayn's gonna give you shit for that.
He can go ahead and give me shit for that. He also agrees that Detroit should have had the first pick. I don't care if they don't take
Yeah,
Sark.
but
They
it's
should have
not
the
their
choice to
fault.
take whoever they want. They were
Okay, fine.
so bad.
Okay, you know
Their
what?
odds
I'm
should have
I'm
been
gonna
better.
read their names. All right, the last picks that they have. Okay, they took Marcus. Okay, Jaden Ivey out in 2022.
Yeah,
Round one, pick 5.
yeah.
He hasn't. He's been.
I
I
think he
don't.
has potential. He has potential.
He has potential, but like I don't
But
know.
he had
Cade was a
this year
good
he
good
popped
pick.
off a couple of times.
Yeah, but Cade was a good pick. And then if you go back to 2020, they took Killian Hayes round 7 or pick 7. That's
That's an
their
awful
fault.
pick. Yeah.
Last year, Azar Thompson, that was a
But
good pick.
I'm
Got
just
it.
saying the odds are not good enough. Like it's still the lottery will still stop people from tanking because there's still a chance you don't get it.
Yeah.
But fine, let's say you leave it the way it is. Why are they allowed to drop to pick 5? They should drop to 2 or 3. It should still be a top 3 pick. They were last by a mile. It should have
Well,
been them.
I don't know. It's not. I don't
But
make the
that's
rules.
what I'm saying though. Fine. I understand the lottery. But there should be something that negates someone from dropping that many spots. The
Stop being
last 5 years, so what, dude? The lottery is meant to stop tanking, but it's not meant to stop. It's not meant to help good teams get better and make bad teams worse.
Yeah,
It's meant
but
to be
if you
the other
look
way
at their
around.
past, it's their fault too because they don't know how to draft. If you look at their past round picks, Spencer Dinwiddie, KCP, he's been a role player. Dinwiddie, he's not even on the team anymore. All these people aren't on the team.
But it's a
Kennard, why
different.
would
It's a
you?
different scouting group now, probably. So
Yeah,
much
but
has
like
changed.
it's
That's right.
not
It's also, but these
completely
guys are
the
not
lottery
number
fault.
1 picks. They're not number 2 picks. When you have basically the whole entire draft to pick from, you're probably going to screw it up way less.
Yeah, but if you look at their past drafts, they've only had like 3 good picks that are still on the team. Azar Thompson, that was last year. Jane Ivey, he's still,
It's debatable if that's even a
evolving.
good pick. But
Cade's the only good one here. I like who the hell
they
is?
took Kate at 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, but I'm just saying that draft was just loaded though. It's like even if they
And I'm
got picked
saying that
5,
this year
top
in a
5.
class that people are saying is
Shit.
weak. I don't like when people say that. Everyone in all these drafts is good. But in a relatively weak class compared to years past, they should have a top 3 pick. They were last. In the NFL, there's no
Mm.
real issue with
I mean,
tanking. The people tank in the last 2 weeks. Nobody cares. You don't even show up to the games. You saw the Panthers. Nobody even went to the games all year. Nobody cared. They can tank.
they didn't even have their pick.
But that's what I mean. It didn't even matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Mm.
No one's
I
gonna
want
take
to
this.
talk
It
about the
kills
Pistons,
ticket
though.
sales. Like everyone thinks that owners want to tank. Unless there's some general unless it was like Wemby. Fine. Last year Wemby
Yeah, yeah.
that
The Spurs, they
would
tanked
have
hard for that guy.
yeah. And they still didn't deserve him. They weren't dead last.
I think they're
So
like second last.
yeah, I think actually wasn't Detroit last year as well.
Detroit's always at.
That's what I mean. They could have had him or whoever was last, but the last place team didn't get him. The team that needed him the most didn't get him, is all I'm trying to say. So once again, Atlanta, they moved from like pick 10 or
So like
11.
what, four or three?
No, huh?
They have two, three, four, five.
What? They're
No,
one.
like what pick do they have?
They're
Atlanta has
number
one.
one. They
Oh,
won
they
the
do have
lottery.
one. I
That's what I'm
forgot. Oh my
saying.
God.
That's my argument here. Fine. Okay, you know what? Let's just forget everything I said for a second. Let's say the Pistons lose it to whoever was second last. Maybe it was the Spurs or whatever.
Hmm.
But Atlanta doesn't they didn't play bad enough to need the number one pick. They don't need this guy. Of course, now they're gonna love having whoever they take here. If it's Sar, then that's great. They're gonna add
It's Sar. It's
a
gonna be Sar
huge duo threat with Trey Young and him. It's gonna be
or
crazy.
Jonte. I don't know who they're gonna trade.
But that wasn't necessary because the Atlanta Hawks were in the play-in. They
Yeah,
got to the plan. So how is it fair? And I hate
it's just
Detroit. I hate the
luck. It's
Pistons. You
just
think I
luck.
care about? But that's what I mean. Like this is crazy though. 5 years in a row. This luck is 5 years in a row that the last place team didn't get
I
it.
mean, it's Detroit. I don't know. Maybe they're just in a
And
lucky,
and maybe
unlucky
they gotta
streak.
change the odds because this is not how it's
Oh,
supposed
I
to.
know why. You know why the Pistons are ass? It's because the Lions are good. You can't have two good things at once. Unless you're Boston, of course. And I
That's
hate
fair.
Boston.
The Red Wings aren't so bad either. So
All right, we'll move on from the
but we'll
Pistons. I don't
move
know
on.
the
It's
thinking.
done now. I'm just saying Atlanta has
Sorry,
the
Pistons
first pick,
fans.
which is crazy. Sorry, Pistons fans. I
Yeah,
don't
I know
care
you
for the
guys are crying.
Pistons. I feel bad for you though. That sucks. Just to add insult to injury to this awful season. Okay. So we talked about Cleveland. We'll move to Boston quickly. Uh, Tatum is just that dude. 25 points, 10 rebounds, almost a triple double, man. Like this guy, 43 minutes. He's got ice in his veins, man. Just nothing to worry about, no issues. Al Horford dropped 22 and 35. He had 15 boards as
Yeah,
well.
it's a problem. When Al Horford is playing like Atlanta Al Horford, it's a problem. Should have bet
Yeah,
on this guy, man.
yeah.
Uh,
It's honestly I don't even know. They just couldn't contain him. Derek White's continuing to play well, 18 points. Like at this, my bar for him is not super high, but he's been playing really well. So I mean, you can't. He's no slouch right now. Like
they had a bad game four and he came back.
he had a bad game for, but he's and if you really think about it, he's really thriving in this environment
For
where
sure.
it's not like it's full pressure on him, but the coach is trusting him to just play a ton of minutes.
Yeah, and bring us good defense too.
Exactly, but he's just bringing a ton of energy, like
Yeah.
exactly who you
He's
want.
also a player. He shoots threes well. He's like a 3-and-D guy, 3-and-D guard, combo guard, you know?
Yeah, and like we were saying before, everything has to mesh for it to work. And the teams that win championships are the teams that have players that you don't expect to step up who do and
Yeah.
shit all
Just people
playoffs.
that know their roles, you know?
Exactly. And dude, like to play like 36 minutes is no joke. Like that's a lot of minutes to play. And he's having no issues with that. And I'm pretty sure he's been playing more than that in most games. So for him to play 36, Drew Holiday, decent game, 41. You know that he's there mainly for defense. Um, 13 points still not bad. Jalen Brown only 11 points is
Yeah, I hate
not
that
his
guy. He
best
messed up
game,
my parlay. And he's banned from the list.
but
For now.
yeah, he didn't have a great game. Pritchard though, he's been kind of consistent for these playoffs. Every once in a while, he kind of has a decent game.
Yeah, when he gets minutes, he'll
20-point
drop
game.
like 10, 15 points, you know?
Yeah, he had 21 minutes, 11 points, nothing to be upset about. Even like the dude who had the least amount of minutes here, Hauser,
He
10
looks
minutes,
like he's
about
from
five.
Boston, no?
Yeah, you know what? That's kind of
He
crazy.
looks like a Boston guy.
He just looks it just looks right. Looks right
Yeah.
wearing the Boston uniform. But otherwise, honestly, there's not a lot to say. Like Boston, they
It's
just
Boston. We knew they were making the finals.
yeah, I mean we said the Knicks, but like
No, like Eastern Conference Finals.
they might be the Knicks, honestly. I don't even know. The Knicks, they haven't
Yeah, the Knicks
we'll
aren't
get to
healthy
them.
anymore.
We'll get to them.
Move on to the Knicks, no?
Yeah, let's move on to the Knicks here. Let me find.
Pacers are the next. Tyrese Halliburton, man.
Oh,
They really picked Team USA really picked Halliburton over Brunson. You see, Brunson's giving it to him now. He's playing them all the positions. He's frontwards, backwards, sideways. He's cooking all of them. Nemhard, he's getting cooked. Neesmith, he's getting cooked. Halliburton, they're all getting cooked. He's cooking them up. Dribble, ISO. This guy's killing them. It's crazy. Brunson is a bad man, I'm telling you.
he's a dog, bro. He is a dog.
I think he
Holy.
has the second most 40-point games since LeBron. I think LeBron has like eight since
Well, did you
20.
also read? I saw a stat that was like he has more playoff points than Carmelo now, and he's only been in
Yeah.
the league for 2 years.
I think that's kind of gotta relax on that one, you know.
It does matter though
It
because
does
it
matter, but
shows
like
that
if you think about
Carmelo's
it,
effect with New York was not as impactful as Brunson's was. And look at because I saw something also that Jokic is changing Denver, and now Brunson is changing New York, and Carmelo's just being erased from the
nah,
NBA.
this is disrespectful to Carmelo, man.
It
These
is
boys
because
know
he's
about
top
Prime
10 in
Melo.
points ever. Like,
Prime Melo was a problem. This guy asked he could,
yeah,
no matter who you put on him, ISO, jab, jab,
you know,
and
it's a
money.
shame that he couldn't,
I
couldn't
know.
do
I think the
more.
team just it wasn't.
He
I don't
was
know. And
never in the right
it was during
situation.
LeBron's era.
He was never in the right situation anyways. Because Denver, there was no support. New York, there was no support either. Then
Yeah,
he went
not
to
much.
OKC and it just didn't mesh
Yeah,
having
and then
Westbrook,
Rocket,
Paul George, and uh,
Westbrook.
it was Westbrook, Paul George, and
No,
Melo on
yeah,
that team. And Melo, like he averaged like what 11 points a game there. Like it
yeah,
wasn't
like 11, 14, 15.
yeah, it wasn't amazing. And then where'd he go after that?
Rockets.
Oh yeah, was that when Harden was still there? Or Chris Paul?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
CP3.
Yeah, and it just that's what kind of when it ended for him, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no, and then he went to Portland. I think that was the end.
Yeah, see, I don't even remember that.
And then Lakers, but like we don't count that.
Yeah, yeah, because he didn't.
Those are like forgotten years. But
Anyways, New York is like I love it. I love how they're playing.
get
They're winning
Halliburton
at
off this
home.
team.
They're winning at home. Okay, but the two games that the Pacers won were the two games that Halliburton like went
Yeah,
off.
and he was talking shit. This guy only talks when he's up. But now
Yeah.
you down, you're not talking. You got
They
30
they
piece.
got they got crushed by
You got
30,
30 piece by a
30,
six-man rotation.
30,
Seven-man rotation.
30 points. Because if we go through this, let's look at so Indiana. So it was 121-91 was the final score for the last game. So their Knicks are up 3-2 in the series. Siakam dropped 22. Siakam's been the most respectable player on this team throughout the whole playoff so far for the Pacers. Like he's been the most consistent of any.
Yeah.
Where Halliburton was just like a ghost, basically.
Halliburton will have one good game, then a shit game, then a good game,
Well, the
then a
problem
shit
is
game.
that Turner has been like that too. He's been
Yeah,
having a
Turner
good
as
game,
well. You can't
then a
be.
terrible game, then a decent game, then a terrible. He hasn't even been. He has not played like a star at all. Right? Naismith did basically nothing. He just ran on the floor for 28 minutes. But Turner had 16. Halliburton had only 13, only 5 assists. So not a wait, yeah, 13. Not a good game from him at all. Not what you expect. And then obviously the bench didn't support them. Right?
Yeah,
Like
and
look at
remember
this.
last time we were talking about how strong the
You
bench is. The
because
bench
you
doesn't
said that
perform,
the if your
you know,
bench plays well, you win games, except for this series.
because
And
the
then
Knicks are
the
just
Pacers went on
fire.
and won 2 games to totally disprove that again.
Yeah, yeah,
And now their bench played like ass and they lost. So if you look at this, right, Shepard dropped 6, Toppin 7, McConnell 7. Nobody else scored. James Johnson had 1 point in 1 minute. That's it. The rest of it was just on the starters. You're not going to win games like that if your stars are playing bad and your bench
yeah.
is playing bad. So I don't know. It's a really weird mix the way the coach ran this because some of these bench guys played like 3 minutes. I'm assuming it was at the end of the game,
Yeah, yeah.
but not just seems totally mismanaged. Like I know that it's the playoffs, but sometimes you got to pull off a star if he's playing bad. Like get in his head that he's screwing up, right?
Yeah,
Because Halliburton, like this can't keep on happening. You can't like everyone thought he was back in the last 2 games.
yeah.
Finally, maybe he's finally healthy, and then boom, another terrible, terrible game. 13 points, just a joke, honestly.
I mean, well, we'll see what happens next game because, they're down 3-2. You guys, you're back against the wall. You're at home, so you got to show up.
Yeah, let's see what they're made of. Let's
Josh
see what
Hart,
Halliburton is made of.
Josh Hart though, 18, 11, 39 minutes.
Dude,
That's
this guy
actually
is
pretty
such
pretty
a
low for him.
man. 39
Such a
minutes is low for him. This guy
yeah.
50 a game.
Dante didn't really have a good game. 8 and 7 in 30 minutes.
I feel like it was down back.
Isaiah Hartenstein had a great game. 7 and
17
17. This
boards.
guy is sunning Miles Turner. And he had 12 offensive rebounds.
Bro,
This
and
guy
then
definitely gets a pass in New
Brunson
York.
with
This
the
guy definitely.
44 for Brunson.
Yeah,
Dude,
Brunson is nasty. 44 points in
dude,
43
it's
minutes.
too nice, man. It's
Crazy.
too nice. I love it.
Miles McBride too. He's showing out to his
Yeah,
threes.
17 points. He had a good game.
You
And
even had
Alec
Alec
Burks.
Burks.
Dude, Dibs kind of loves this guy. All year, if he gets a chance to play him, he'll play him.
Hmm.
Dude,
And the
23
Knicks
minutes,
are
18 points is
they're
nice.
doing this without OG. They're doing this without Randall. They're doing this without Mitch Robb. You're missing three starters, three key guys.
Dude,
So
I'm so
the
happy
Knicks,
for
man,
the
they
players.
just
Love the Knicks.
something about Tibbs. Tibbs has got something for these guys. But
It's
next
Tibbs and it's
game,
it's Brunson and it's Hart. Like these two guys are like the heart and soul of this team. Like it's crazy.
yeah,
Like you can see it. Brunson, bro, he wants to win so
reminds
bad.
you of like Derrick Rose, no? Like Tibbs and Derrick Rose, and this is like his new
Like
Derrick.
the way that the chemistry is between them and the trust, yeah, it kind of feels like that.
Yeah, it's like
Like
Derrick Rose
Josh
would just
Hart,
be the
like
oh
he's
him.
he's it's so funny, right? Hart, because where was he before? He was in New Orleans,
Yeah.
he was in LA. And I remember even like thinking like, oh, okay, like because he was good in the summer league, and I was like, oh, maybe this guy could like he could be something one day, and he never really got the chance. In New Orleans, it didn't really work out. He never got the minutes right, and then
Hmm.
he comes to New York, and it's like this is what he was meant to do. He was meant to be the guy who can play all game every game.
Yeah, not only that, but like all the positions, he can defend. He's a three.
Yeah,
You can this is like one of the guys that you just throw him on any team and
yeah,
he'll play good. He knows his role. He,
yeah, exactly.
like I'm
And
telling you, these guys that know their
he's
roles and like
clutch,
what
bro. He's clutch. You need a three with 2 minutes left.
yeah, he's clutch too.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
he's got it.
And he's bro, this guy's a great teammate. Like I would want to be his teammate. This guy's funny as hell.
Yeah. So, anyways, the Knicks, they're 1 win away, man. 1 win
Mm.
away. It's been a weird thing with this series, though. Everyone's been winning at home. So, going back to Indiana, maybe the
Mm.
Pacers do pull one out.
Except the Timberwolves and Nuggets series. You said everyone's winning at home. They haven't
Nobody's
they
winning at
win
home.
at all the away games.
Yeah.
Not a home team hasn't won yet. So we'll see next game. I think it's in Denver. No, it's in Minnesota.
So that means that Denver did win at home. They had to. They're up 3-2. They had to win one game.
Oh, they broke. Yeah, they finally broke it last.
Because the Timberwolves won the first
Yeah,
two
but
in
the first
Denver.
4 games was
The first four games, yeah. No home team
yeah,
won, and then Denver did it at home.
yeah. But game 6,
Which we'll
Denver
actually
won
talk
that.
about right now. So it was 112-97 was the final score for that one. Uh Honestly, the Timberwolves, it's not Anthony Edwards. He's not the problem. This guy is sick. Like
It's
I
Gobert.
read something that like while he was on the floor, they outscored the Nuggets by 13. In like the 13 minutes he was off, they were down by 5. Like that, like they actually
Oh, I saw that stat. Yeah,
they,
yeah.
they need him. Like it's so sad that he as soon as he gets off the floor, like that's his impact. And it's
Hmm.
good and bad because his value only skyrockets, but for a playoff perspective, if you because he's playing so much and so aggressively that he can't play a Josh Hart type game. Like he cannot play like that many minutes consistently. I don't think he played 44 minutes. Like he played basically the whole entire game. But I feel like the way that he plays, it's just so aggressive.
Hmm.
He's going for everything. He always has the ball in his hand. I mean, he only had 18 points in the last game, but it was an impressive 18 because nobody else did anything. Right? Gobert had 18, but he was getting absolutely torched by Jokic.
Yeah, but it's Jokic, and everyone. I feel like everyone's like, "Oh, Gobert's trash and whatnot." This is
No,
just what
it's
happens
just
when you go up
Jokic is
against
just
the.
the
Yeah,
defense
he's
has
just
been
too good.
good, and Jokic just you can't either he passes the ball and he's being covered, he scores when he's covered, he puts the
Hmm.
three in when he's covered. Like the guy is just a
I feel
freak.
like Mike Conley was a big loss for them as well. I think he's an Achilles injury or something. He sat out, and you can see because the Timberwolves aren't that deep. Like they only played 8 people,
They're looking for depth
and
scoring. Yeah.
I know, and no, especially when they don't have a point guard on that roster. You got Ant and Nikhil Alexander Walker as the guards, which neither of them are like
Uh,
guards. And
Dude,
still had 9
Alexander
assists,
Walker
but
played 39 minutes.
yeah, because they got him and Jaden McDaniels. They're like long, lengthy defenders. They they got to play him, try to stop Jamal. Jamal at 16. Jamal has had a quiet series. It's just Aaron Gordon has had a great series because I feel like he's just torching Cat too. I feel like Cat's been sleepy and lazy on defense
Defense has
sometimes.
not been good. It's not. He's not taking advantage of
Mm,
like his size. Like he definitely should be playing better. He still had
yeah.
23 points though. So I mean, like offensively, it's not really an issue. Although I think a couple of games we only had 13 points, but the offensive side isn't as much of a problem. Obviously, 97 points is not great, but it's not like they got destroyed, like they lost by 15. So it wasn't like they lost by 30 like the Pacers did. Within reach for most of the game, but even if Edwards has a way better game, they still lose. So you know, I think McDaniels needs to do a little bit better. Like this guy has been dropping very few points, but he plays a lot of minutes.
Hmm.
I know he's more defensive, but I don't know. They're not getting any support. They need it, right? When your bench shoots 7, 2, and 6, it's that's not good enough. Like Nas Reed should score more than 7 points for being
Yeah, he
6
only played 20
here.
minutes. So
That's what I mean. It's a bit
uh,
of a mystery the way these minutes have been managed because I don't get it. I don't know why McDaniels actually played so many minutes considering how poor he played.
it's just
But
defense.
yeah, but I mean,
But you
you're
can't only play defense, you gotta at
that's
least
what I
shoot.
mean. Like you have to do a bit of both.
Can't be
So
an offensive liability for your
I think
defense.
that Kyle Anderson is worth playing more. Like I don't think he should have only played.
Anderson.
It's,
I don't know. He's just a
he had a
little
couple of good
slow.
games in this series, so I don't know. I don't like the management.
Timberwolves, I feel like they just they can't take their foot off the gas. This is like they're the champs for the reason, defending champs, especially if they got the MVP, who makes everyone around him better. You guys gotta,
Dude, they
go
were up
back,
2-0, man. They were
figure
up
it out.
2-0.
But I think the Timberwolves can still win the series, but they just made it a lot harder on themselves.
I think what the tell is going to be if Edwards drops 40, I think that they win any game that they play. If the defense doesn't, because right now the Nuggets are kind of figuring out how to limit him.
Yeah,
If he adjusts and whatever he works on, and he gets back up to that 35-point game, I think that they'll win because that'll fuel everybody else too. And once they start doubling him, it always leaves someone open. And Cat's trustworthy at the 3-point line.
for sure.
Gobert's always
That's
going to
that's
be
the shoot
open.
three big.
But that's what I mean, right? He's trustworthy almost everywhere, and guys will start making shots. Like,
Hmm.
so I definitely think it's possible as well. If we quickly look at the Nuggets stat line, Jokic obviously dropped 40 and 13, which is just nasty, man. The guy is so good. Like you said, Murray dropped 16 points. KCP had
Big
16.
game from KCP,
That's a
16.
big game. Aaron Gordon had 18 and 10 rebounds.
Big series from Aaron.
Michael Porter definitely didn't have the game that he needed to have, but they still won. That can't happen again though, because I have a feeling if there's anyone that's gonna rush it in a win or go home, it's gonna be Anthony Edwards. So everybody on the Nuggets needs to be on top of it, right? Like the
Mhm.
Timberwolves, if you really think about it, they don't actually have anything to lose because they weren't really expected to do this well, especially against the Nuggets. Meanwhile, the Nuggets were expected to basically go back to back, right? So the Nuggets have all the pressure to win this game now. I could see the T-Wolves. Like I agree with you. I think that they could also win the series. So it'd be definitely interesting to
Yeah.
see how the benches get used because it's been a bit weird having only three guys come off the bench for the T-Wolves and only four guys came off the bench for the Nuggets as well. So it's not like this is
It was a
not
close
like
game.
a Pacers series at all. Like
Mhm.
there's very few people coming off the bench here. The minutes are being managed really weirdly.
It's
These
just
guys
start
play a
heavy.
lot.
And I think if Mike Conley comes back, it's just a big miss for them because you lose another guy and you lose like your main point guard. Like Mike Conley, he's known to be high IQ, good leader, veteran experience. I think they're just missing him. So I
Yeah.
think he'll be available for next game. Hopefully he's rested up, so he'd be good to go. But I think he'll be the big difference maker for them
Yeah.
in the
And
next.
now we'll go to the final game, which actually just ended, which was Dallas versus OKC. Dallas now goes up, I believe it's 3-2 now. 104-92 against OKC. Dallas won. That's massive. That's a huge win for Dallas, especially because we were talking about before. We didn't think that like we said that the Mavericks definitely have a chance if Luka and Kyrie step up.
Hmm.
This series is way closer than I thought it was going to be. I
Yeah,
thought,
yeah. I remember I said people around Kyrie and Luka need to step up because you can see Kyrie he didn't have a good game. He didn't really I think he shot the ball once in the fourth quarter and he's known to be a fourth quarter guy. He only had
second
12,
half.
2, and 4. He was just setting screens. He was being like he knew what to do, I guess. He knew it wasn't his night.
Yep.
But you got PJ's been so good this series. He only had 10 points
Yeah.
today, but
But
double
he had
double.
28 in the last game, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Back to back 28s and then now 10. And then you have Derek Jones drop 19, 28 minutes. Big game from him. Got Gafford, 9 and 7, had a few blocks. Got Luca, big game from Luca, 31, triple double, bounce back from last game. Uh and he's injured too on a bad ankle,
Yep.
I think, and he's had a good game. Derek Lively, big game from him, 11 double double in 23 minutes. And the
All
bench,
they could ask from Lively because he's a rookie is just
block
outplay Chet.
shots.
Block shots, but also like it's you versus Chet. And Chet's
Yeah,
not having a great
body
series.
him. And then you're going
And
against Jalen
he
Williams,
outplayed Chet. Lively had 11 and 10. Chet had
13 and 4. He got bodied
there you go.
in a few
Chet's
plays.
expected to drop close to 20, and he's not
Yeah,
doing it.
15, 20, but I feel like it's just rebounds. I feel like rebounds kill them because the Mavs are big. They have big long wings. They have uh paint protectors. They got, very versatile, very athletic. So if you're Chet, you gotta like box out. You gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta toughen up.
Well, I feel like the OKC youth is really starting to show.
Hmm.
Even though Shea had 30,
Yeah.
once again, the rest of this team, it's just like we go
Yeah.
through Jalen Williams,
J-Dub didn't play that
12.
good.
Dort, I know that Dort is mainly there for defense. Still, 38 minutes or yeah, 38 minutes, 12 points, not enough. Chet only 13. I understand you said 15 to 20. 39 minutes, he has the ball a lot. He has to put up more than 13 in my opinion. Um,
Sure.
and then after that, nobody really I guess Giddy dropped 11, but he only played 12 minutes. I don't once again, I'm not understanding the
No,
mismatch.
because he's bad. He's getting exposed because
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
slow.
defensively, he's not been.
He can pass. He can, shoot the ball not that well. He's just mainly like a facilitator. But if you're a defensive liability, especially in the playoffs,
Yeah.
when it's a close series, the coach is not going to play you. And you can see he didn't even get 6-man minutes. He got 12 minutes and he had 11 points, but
Yeah.
there's no defense there, which is why Mark Dagnall started Isaiah Joe over him
But
to
like
bring
this
that
is the thing,
defense.
right? You only had one guy on the team who scored more than 15 points. Like it's not
I
gonna
know Shea can't do it himself. That's what I said.
he's the
Like,
only one right now that's playing to the level expected of him.
mhm.
Besides that, nobody else is getting anywhere close to that. Especially like being down in the series, like it matters so much if you're leading the series now because it has a totally different type of confidence going into the next game, right? Like game six is such an important game because one team is going to be going in thinking, oh, we could go to the conference final. And the other team is thinking, if we lose, we're done,
Yeah,
right?
we're going home.
We're going to
Cancun.
Cancun. Like
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
that's what's happening, right? And now OKC, this young team that has no experience, they're not used to being in these situations. That's what they're going to be thinking. It's not like it's going to be an experienced group like LeBron and all the teams that he's been on where they go into game six if they're down and it's like we're winning, right?
Hmm.
Like his heart rate doesn't go up like in this
Yeah,
game.
because he's been there before.
Exactly. He knows exactly what it feels like to be there. He knows what it takes, and it's not going to be about him getting nervous.
And
These
his
guys are
teammates
going to
know
get
too.
nervous. I
Yeah,
don't care
but
what you say about them being pro athletes or whatever. They're still human. They have not been in the
yeah,
situation.
they
They
get
have a whole
nervous.
entire city that is watching them and cheering for them, and they don't want to screw it up. But that only actually gives more issues and makes them more nervous and gives them more anxiety, which causes more mistakes.
Hmm.
Coach is going to have to be smart about
He's a good coach though.
he is a good coach, but the problem is with this, if you look at this team,
He's young.
who would you trust to
Shea.
start? It's just Shea. He's the only trustworthy player on this team. Everyone else has been incredibly inconsistent. And this is why deadline moves at the NBA trade deadline are so crucial This is why you have to have players who are older. Instead, they have the youngest average age in the NBA, and they might be if they win the championship, they'd be the youngest average age ever. I don't think they're going to win the championship. Uh,
They're
but now,
too
but now
inexperienced.
this is where like everyone's always like, oh, maybe age, like maybe the experience doesn't matter that much. I'm guaranteeing you right now that coach is really wishing he had someone who has playoff experience, like a lot of playoff experience, because it's not hard to find guys who have experience. So sometimes you have to give something up for it, but I would.
I
So
swear they could have signed some free agents too.
they could have had some chances to do something because if you look at this Mavericks group, let's just compare them to Dallas. Uh, Luka's now been in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Been
Luca's
there.
had experience.
So,
Kyrie,
but you know
Miro,
what? You want to put him against Shea? Fine. They're both kind of in their equal world. But then you have
Kyrie.
this guy. He's won a championship. He's
Hmm.
played with the best players in the world. He's been on Team USA. He has all the experience you could ask for from a star player. That alone, him by himself, is enough experience, in my opinion, to take down OKC.
And you have the coach
Be
as
enough
well.
for OKC, huh?
Coach.
Yeah, coach.
Jason Kidd,
Yeah,
Hall of Famer. He's been there in the playoffs multiple years.
yeah,
And then not only like the players and coach, but the organization as well. Because Dallas has been in the playoffs consistently.
yeah.
You know, not make it past like the finals or whatever, whatnot. But OKC hasn't been in the playoffs since the Russell Westbrook era. That was like 5 years ago, no?
Wow, it's been a
Like
long time.
5, 6 years ago. It's been a while for them, and it's a
And
completely
you
new.
you have to still, credit this group. Obviously, this is a really good young core to
Mhm.
finish where they did this year. Like it was a really
Yeah,
impressive
let's see.
season. But don't forget, they're not playing top end teams every single day. Like that's not how the season works. You still also play teams who are not that good.
Yeah,
So
like the
now you get
Pistons.
into playoff time, you have to start thinking who brings you value here. And we'll talk about this more later on, but
Off-season moves. We'll definitely do an episode for that and what
absolutely.
he needs to address.
Because if you think about it, like I remember we were talking about CP3 before, and everyone's saying maybe this is kind of his exit. You add him to a team that needs that experience. Like we saw what happened with the Suns. When he joined the Suns, that was a super inexperienced team,
Mhm.
and they went all the way to the final. That's because they had a bunch of veterans on that team who could take them there.
Even OKC. Remember when he was on OKC? I forgot. In the bubble, 4 years ago, it
Yep.
was CP3. You had Dennis Schroeder and you had Shea, and you could see how CP3 has mentored Shea because I think Shea gives a lot of credit to CP3 and how he helped evolve his game.
But also, if you just look at past champions, right? If we look at the Nuggets team, because most of this team is pretty much the same. Aaron Gordon, Jokic, Murray. Was KCP there last year? I think he
Yeah,
was, right? Those are four guys with a ton of like these guys have been in the NBA. They've been in playoff situations.
especially KCP. He's won a rig before last year with the Lakers in the bubble.
Exactly. So now when you look at the commonalities of teams that win championships,
As veterans.
all just veterans and winners,
Yeah,
right? Look at all the teams that LeBron has been on. Why do you think when LeBron went to Cleveland, he asked them to move Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love? Because he wanted to bring
to
on
win now.
exactly. And you also want to bring on someone who, once again, I'm going to say it, when he gets into a tough situation or a high pressure situation, his heart rate doesn't change,
Yeah,
right?
that's
He doesn't get more nervous. They're exactly the same. And so teams, I think some teams think that right now the youth movement is the way to go, and it definitely is, but you
you
kind of
gotta
have
have
to
a
do
mix.
a half
You
and
know?
half thing. You have to have your future, and you have to have the guys that are going to teach them how to win. And right now, there's nobody on OKC teaching anybody how to win. Shea is just an animal, so he's going to continue to play well. But that's talent now. That's a different level of star. But everybody else is not playing like that. And Chet, I mean, technically it's only Chet's first year if you want to count it like that. You could say second year, but it's not enough.
Yeah, first. Yeah, count as first.
Yeah, because he didn't play it all last year. So
Yeah.
first year, but so you can't totally blame them for the play. Like, the thing is, how did his defense get worse in the playoffs? It was already
I know it
bad,
should get better.
huh?
It should like he should
But that's what I mean. It should
be
get better.
evolving his
But
game.
because of the inexperience and never being in the situation and now not getting the minutes, his
He's getting
confidence is probably
exposed.
down the toilet. He's trying to do too much and it ends up being not enough. And it's totally clean. Like, right now, Dort had that little bit just because he's been on that team for like that much longer than these guys. That you
Yeah,
could see, like
he's
especially
one
in
of the
game
older
one,
kids.
when they won and he kind of locked up Luka, I was like, okay, he's gonna be a bit of
Yeah,
a,
yeah.
and it showed. That's it though. That is it. So I don't know. OKC, if they do end up losing this series, a serious thing they're gonna have to consider in the offseason is adding some veteran players. They cannot
Yeah.
continue to do this young thing or go and look to add like because they don't need another superstar. They don't need one.
I need some wings, some 3-and-D guys. I think they need a big. They need some
They just
they
need
need
some
some like
tough,
bullies. They need
tough
some
players.
guys, tough guys. Yeah. They
Yeah.
need some
They need
veterans, some
some
tough
guys
guys.
that just that they're a for sure 10 to 15 a night.
Yeah.
And in the playoffs, they can play 30 minutes to 40 minutes, no problem.
Mhm.
It's not gonna be any drama. There's not gonna be anything like that. You just know that they're gonna like you think about like Mike Conley, his value, it would be sky high in my opinion. Like OKC should go after a guy like that. Because
I
he's not
think he's
gonna
gonna stay
cost you a
though.
ton, but yeah, he might stay. But what I'm saying is he's not gonna cost a ton. You could definitely convince him to join this team. I don't know why he would say no, because you're still gonna give him the minutes because he's still a quality player. And in the playoffs, you're gonna get a guy who you know is going to step up. And also, you know how badly he wants the championship. That's another thing. These veterans, the guys who haven't won rings, or they won one a while ago and they really want another one, they
Yeah.
want it. And it's impossible for these young players to want it because they haven't lost it.
Yeah. And
They've
they're so
been
young. They don't know what it feels like, you
exactly.
know?
They have no idea. Like, obviously, they have an idea of how hard it is to get to that position.
Yeah, yeah.
When you have to do it season after season after season and you still haven't won it, that makes you want it just that much more. And that's why Chris Paul going to the Suns was so valuable that year. That's why it worked so well. He had that kind of last dance run, and it almost worked out for him.
Almost, yeah.
Almost.
Lost six.
But that dude, trust me, the OKC would love to get to a final, right?
Yeah.
So they need to find their Chris Paul or whatever they're gonna do to form a team that would get them there. Because as good as a young group is, a young group that doesn't win isn't that good. A young group that doesn't perform isn't that good. So the only reason why I'm saying is because nobody else dropped at least 15 points, right?
Yeah.
Just Shea. So it's got to be better. Because that's if you're thinking 104 is not a lot. So yeah, I think that
Oh, and it was their lowest points total all season, 92. So that really
yeah,
tells you.
and think about it in a game
Actually,
where
in a playoff
you
game.
kind of control your fate, like I just said, leading the series is huge. It means so
Yeah,
much.
3-2.
So now you're down. In a game like that, you had arguably your worst game of the whole entire season.
No, not arguably the
The
worst
worst,
game.
the worst game. So there you go, right? It's think about it, Indiana dropped 91.
Yeah,
So
it's
and
insane.
nobody showed up in that game. So
Yeah.
but all right, yeah. So I mean, we'll see. It's gonna be exciting to see what happens. You want to give a quick prediction? We'll go Knicks series first. Who's coming out on top?
Quick, right?
Yep.
I'll say Knicks in 7 or 6, but they win the series.
I think it'll be Knicks in 7. I think the Pacers will get that one at home. So far, it's been a home battle.
Hmm.
Um, we'll do Nuggets T-Wolves. What do you think?
I don't know. I really don't know. It could be Nuggets. I don't know. I think go to game 7, but I don't know who wins.
Also, I think the Nuggets will take it in 7. I
Hmm.
think so. I just think the poor play of some of the T-Wolves will come out in game 7 and Ant will I think he'll get locked up, honestly. So
Okay.
so we'll see. But I think Nuggets in 7. And then lastly is the Mavericks OKC.
I think Mavs will win. The inexperience is going to show.
I think
I
I
think
think
OKC wins the next game, but Mavs in 7.
so I think Mavs in 6. I think that they get the next one.
Mavs in 6 or 7, I think.
Well, it has to be 6 or 7. So
Okay, yes. Okay. I'm tired, bro. I'm
let's
hungry.
say all these
Tired.
6 or 7. It's like, well, it's the only options. But yeah. And we'll probably record sometime next week. Sometime next week, probably.
Yeah, early next week though.
There's not a lot going on. We'll probably talk about the Premier League next week because
Yeah, the Premier League is almost
someone's winning the title. So probably Man City, but it'll
someone's winning the title.
someone's winning the title next week.
Oh, someone. Oh,
So
wow. I had no idea, man. I had no idea.
yeah, someone watching might not.
Like,
Someone
can you
will.
see my eyes or not?
No, I can see the reflection of your screen.
All right, good. That's good.
Yeah. If you look hard enough, then you can maybe make it out.
And
But
don't stare in my soul, buddy. My girl wouldn't like. All right. We'll sign off. We'll see you guys in a few days. Hopefully, maybe Monday or Sunday. Maybe.
probably Monday.
Mm.
But yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll see.
All right. Peace out, guys. See you guys later.
See ya.